A political tempest is brewing within the African National Congress ANC following reports that Deputy Secretary General Numi allegedly directed the arrest of President Cyril Ramaphosa. The purported instruction, which has not been confirmed by official state security platforms, already made waves in Latuli House and the wider South African political scene. It was issued by Muni in a heated closed-door session late Sunday evening. According to sources privy to the ANC leadership, she claimed in the session that Ramaphosa had engaged in malpractices associated with unsettled scandals, from financial misconduct to accusations of abusing the powers of the executive for personal and political ends. The closed-door session, which was supposed to discuss internal party conflicts, was said to have descended into a heated argument when Muni stood up and shouted that the ANC could no longer accept double standards. Muni is said to have said, "The ANC cannot keep being taken hostage by those who think they are above the law. We cannot call others in society to account while protecting our own leaders." Her comments, relayed into the media by leaks and whispers, seem to be the most explicit challenge to Ramaphosa's leadership within the party to date. They also indicate a widening rift among the top echelons of ANC leaders. What is still unclear, however, is whether or not Muni has any constitutional or institutional power to issue such a demand. Arresting an incumbent president is beyond the making of party decisions. It involves judicial procedures, parliamentary involvement, and the intervention of independent investigative authorities like the Hawks or the National Prosecuting Authority. Lacking such support, her instruction risks being rejected as political bluster and not enforceable authority. Political commentator Dr. Kabelo Mooba predicted the order could be more or less symbolic. What Muni appears to be doing is exerting pressure and making a statement. Unless supported by law enforcement and court orders, this arrest order is nothing but political theater, he said. However, as Mooba cautioned, political theater of this kind has the potential to wreak great changes. It can destabilize parties, unsettle financial markets, and even shape public opinion in ways that change the trajectory of national politics. The revelation has seriously unnerved ANC members on both sides. A veteran ANC insider who asked not to be named confessed to being in a panic. "If this is true, we are entering a crisis unprecedented. Who is going to do it? Are the police going to take Nomvula's word for it? Will the court support this? We might witness the ANC divide in real time. And for the likes of me in the middle, it's frightening. I've never felt so unsure about our future in the party. That uncertainty cuts deep. Many of its members are afraid of retaliation based on where they align themselves. Members who have aligned themselves with Ramaphosa's reform agenda fear being cleaned out or marginalized if Mon's faction increases its strength. Meanwhile, members who are doubters of Ramaphosa are afraid of backlash from the public if the ANC is perceived to be destroying itself instead of doing something to fix the nation's most urgent social and economic concerns. President Ramaphosa himself hasn't yet officially reacted, though officials in his office indicate he is well aware of the reported order and is taking advice from legal and political advisors. His supporters have declared Mon's action unconstitutional and irresponsible, cautioning that she might be destabilizing not just the ANC but the stability of the South African state as well. One close advisor pointed out Ramaphosa has weathered several political storms, but it's different. It's not parliamentary committees or opposition parties. It's from within the very core of the ANC. There are a number of potential outcomes that analysts see arising from this extraordinary event. Ramaphosa may challenge the Constitutional Court to find the order invalid, thus affirming the supremacy of the law over party politicking. The ANC's National Executive Committee (NEC) might be compelled to call an emergency meeting to broker peace between Muni and Ramaphosa before the party explodes in the public eye. Or else the South African Police Service, SAPS, and other intelligence agencies might simply decline to act without a proper court order, essentially rendering the directive ineffective before it gains traction. The political damage, though, might already have been accomplished. Mo's position may embolden Ramaphosa's opponents, both inside and outside the ANC, to further deepen divisions that have smoldered for decades. Some predict this may cause resignations, outright defiance, or even breakaway parties. Others warn that the nation's exhausted citizens are tired of scandals over corruption, joblessness, and political factionalism may not sit quietly by. Protests may break out, some in his defense, others in support of Mon's demand for accountability. This episode underlines the vulnerability of South Africa's ruling party as it struggles with international factionalism, eroding popular confidence, and the impending threat of imminent elections. For Moni, the reported order is a high-risk, high-reward bet. If Ramaphosa survives the tempest and holds on to power, she faces political exile and possibly the end of her career within the ANC. But if she can mobilize sufficient support, she may be able to reconfigure the power balance within the party and establish herself as a key player in its future. For Ramaphosa, the stakes couldn't be higher. His presidency already was under challenge because of ongoing corruption charges, and governance perceptions of vulnerability now confronts a specific challenge from one of his own deputies. How he reacts, whether through political accommodation, judicial means, or a coercive exercise of power, may decide not just the fate of his presidency, but also the future of the ANC as an institution. A blunder might hasten the party's collapse, and a bold stroke might cement his position at the very time he needs it most. The drama has already spilled over at ANC headquarters into the public arena, with regular South Africans responding with a combination of shock, outrage, and exhausted resignation. To many citizens, the spectacle is another instance of a governing party wrecked by inner struggles instead of the crisis of poverty, joblessness, and breakdowns in service delivery that beset the country. Social media sites are abuzz with rumors, with hashtags demanding that Ramaphosa step down trending together with counter-movements to protect his presidency. There have been appeals for composure and a reassertion of constitutional values by some elements in civil society. Lawyers emphasize that no matter what internal politics are like, a sitting president can be arrested only through due process. Anything short of that, they caution, would establish a bad precedent that would destabilize the whole democratic framework of the nation. As the crisis deepens, the ANC seems more fractured than ever. The level of panic is such that many of its members are terrified that this moment may be the start of the irreparable split. "This is no longer about policy differences," exclaimed the terrified ANC operative. "This is the question of whether Ramaphosa, whether Moni, whether the ANC themselves survive."